Hey friends, today we're making one of my absolute favourite treats, chocolate chip cookies. Who doesn't love a warm, gooey cookie fresh from the oven, right? So, grab your mixing bowls and let's get started. For this recipe, you'll need some softened butter, about 200 grams. We'll also need around 150 grams of brown sugar and 100 grams of white sugar for that perfect balance of flavour and chewiness. You'll also need 2 eggs, a teaspoon of vanilla extract, 300 grams of plain flour, a teaspoon of baking soda and a pinch of salt. And of course, the star of the show, chocolate chips. I like to use about 200 grams, but feel free to add more if you're feeling extra indulgent. First things first. Preheat your oven to 180 degrees Celsius, and by the way, that's 350 degrees Fahrenheit if you're in the States. Line a couple of baking trays with parchment paper, so they're ready to go. In a large mixing bowl, cream together the softened butter and both sugars. You want the mixture to be nice and light. This should take about 2 to 3 minutes with an electric mixer, or a bit longer if you're doing it by hand. Once that's looking creamy and smooth, add in your eggs one at a time, making sure each one is fully incorporated before adding the next. Then, stir in that lovely vanilla extract. Next, in a separate bowl, whisk together your flour, baking soda, and salt. Once that's all mixed, gradually add the dry ingredients to your wet mixture. I like to do this in batches to avoid flour flying everywhere. Trust me, it happens. When the dough comes together, fold in those chocolate chips until they're evenly distributed throughout. Now, grab a spoon, or even better, an ice cream scoop, and drop spoonfuls of dough onto your prepared baking trays. Make sure you leave enough space between each one, because these cookies will spread out while baking. Pop them in the oven for about 10 to 12 minutes, or until the edges are just turning golden brown, but the centres are still a little soft. That's how you get that perfect chewy texture. Once they're done, let them cool on the trays for a few minutes before transferring them to a wire rack to cool completely. Or, you can sneak a warm one right away. No judgment here. And that's it. Delicious, homemade chocolate chip cookies. Perfect for sharing with friends or just keeping all to yourself. Enjoy.